Hello, hello. It is day 9 of Flash Briefing February. Hope you're enjoying the course so far. Every single day throughout the month of February, we're giving you more ideas, the tips and the tricks and the techniques, the skill set, the mindset to build a better briefing. So all sorts of things to help you with your Flash briefing. And you know what? I'm sure a lot of it will be of useful if you're involved with audio production of any way, shape or form, or podcast production and presentation, all sorts of different things. Now, yesterday, we've been speaking about, in fact, for the last couple of days, about your visual kind of logo, if you like, your icon, your picture. Today, audio logos, audio branding. And you know what? Audio branding, Suze, is just as important, isn't it, as the visuals. It's just as important as the colors, the fonts, the layout. It's just as important as the content in your flash briefing. It's just as important as the voice and the presentation style. All of these come as a big package, but don't ever undersell the importance of a jingle, of a theme tune, or of a sonic logo.
Absolutely. And, you know, these are things that are all around us. So you might think audio branding, sonic branding, whatever you want to call it, you know, what is that? And you know, why do we need it? But in fact, you know, everything from the McDonald's "I'm loving it" to the little Intel Inside sound, you know, all of those things are little kind of audio icons, if you like, ear cons that remind us of that brand and what they stand for. You know, it's part of their reputation almost. You know, you hear it and you know exactly who they are, what they're about. So this is your chance to have a little think about what the sound of your business or brand is. You know, the way that your briefing comes across. Generally, if someone's just using a dot as well and they don't have the show, all they have got to kind of build an image and picture of your brand and business and you yourself is what you sound like. So terribly important for radio stations. Both myself and Peter have a broadcast background, worked in radio stations. The production on a radio station is, you know, something that the station manager will agonize over. You know, it needs to target the right people. It needs to sound the right way. You need to really think about what sounds go with the content of your flash briefing. So if you're doing some kind of something that's about cooking and recipes and things like that, you might not want the bagpipes, and unless you're trying to show people how to cook haggis, maybe, I don't know. But you know, there's a real kind of thought process that goes behind the sounds that you might want. For my own flash briefing social days, I wanted something that was a bit pacey. It's a very, very short, snappy daily listen. So I wanted something that had that kind of newsy tone to it, that kind of drove people through the little kind of audio clip that's used each day. And I couldn't find anything online that was royalty free and available to myself to kind of use. Peter's going to speak a little bit about music libraries and stuff in a moment, where you can kind of go and pick up these things. So I actually put mine together using GarageBand, and there are a few different softwares that you can use, like GarageBand, which is available on the Mac, where you can kind of use their sounds and put them all together and create your own little melody and your own little tune, your own audio branding. So it's, you know, it's another creative thing to do. Equally, you might want to just hand that over to somebody else, or you might want to dip into one of these music libraries. That's right, isn't it, Peter? Lots to think about.
Absolutely, there is lots to think about. So various kind of things to think about. MARS, think of Mars. It's got to be, as Suze was saying there, let's break it down for you. It's got to be memorable, because people, as soon as they hear it, have got to think, oh, yeah, that is what that music relates to. I'm now expecting this kind of content. This is the start of this particular show. So it's got to be memorable. It's got to be appropriate. It's got to fit with the style of the kind of content, unless you're specifically going out maybe to be jarring, to be a little bit different, to be out of the box, or pushing the envelope, or whatever phrase you want to do. So maybe something which is completely at odds with the content may possibly work, but you've got to be very, very sure of your content if that is going to be the case, if you're going to be going down that particular route. So Mars, memorable, appropriate. It's got to be royalty free as well. Now, there are various places that you can get your content for audio, for theme tunes and so on, and some of which will be royalty free. We'll give you some of those addresses in a few moments time. Otherwise, as we said yesterday about the logos, there are various bots which are scrabbling around the internet, and they were trying to match up audio that people have used in podcasts and flash briefings with audio which is owned by the people that they work for. And if they coincide, they know exactly that you have been using their copyrighted sounds, their copyrighted theme tunes, and then things are going to get very nasty for you potentially. And they could go back years and years and years, and you could find yourself in an awful mess. So memorable, appropriate, royalty-free, and the S of Mars, you've got to keep it short. So Suze, why should you keep it short? Why should you keep your theme tune short at the beginning of a flash briefing? Talk to us about that.
So obviously people are enabling your flash briefing because they want to hear your content. So what they don't want to hear is a minute and a half of music or noise or, you know, anything that's kind of not the actual meat of the content that you're going to provide for them. So yeah, you can create the most amazing audio branding, but kind of don't get too self-indulgent with it. The best thing really is to keep it nice and short and snappy, give people that really quick, oh yeah, that's what I'm listening to now, and then straight into the content and the meat of what you're really talking about. But there are places that you can go, aren't there, Peter? You could get somebody else to create your sonic branding for you if it's something that just seems way too scary.
Absolutely. Well, let's go through those various tiers. And yes, you're always listening out for a piece of music, a tune which has a really strong start, yeah, which doesn't actually build, but it has a strong start. So, for example, if I put up my fader here on the desk and I play you the first few seconds of the theme tune that I usually use, then you can tell that after the first 1 or 2 seconds, it has already established itself as a piece of identifiable, memorable, appropriate music. And I can fade it out after a couple of seconds. This is how it starts. Yeah, so already after those first couple of beats, people hopefully know, oh, that's Peter's flash briefing. Yeah, so there you go. Think of something which is short and memorable and gets to the point, because you will be getting to the point as well pretty quickly. So those various tiers: free, GarageBand on Mac and iOS devices. You can compose your own music, various different levels, various channels, and you can put things together. Another thing to another app to look at is HumTab. It's on your phone, and you can literally hum into the microphone and tap on the screen and create your own music. And if you do that, of course, it means that it's your very own. You could potentially sell that to other people, in fact, and make a bit of money out of that way. But no one's going to be chasing you for copyright and royalties and so on. There are themes in YouTube you can use. I don't mean going to YouTube and searching for music that other people have posted. It's going to the themes section of the official YouTube channel and finding the themes that they have created and you can use for your YouTube videos and for other content as well. If you want some effects, there are Amazon effects. They actually have those for people who are building skills. If you just want a sound effect, you can get them via the developer account. The BBC makes sound effects that you can download and use as well. You can also go and search for Creative Commons audio. Again, as we said yesterday about the logos, check for the licenses that you're allowed to use them. It's not just once only, but you can continue to use them. You could buy them, search for royalty-free or stock audio or library audio, places you can go to like Audio Jungle and Pond 5 and Audio Network. Again, check how many times you can use those pieces of music. It may just be for a one-off fee, and also check that you're going to be able to use those for audio which you're publishing externally, like in podcasts, rather than just internally for a company. Or you can ask a company to compose music for you. So it is yours. You will have the rights then. They have composed it especially for you. Check out my friends at musicradiocreative.com. And if you use the discount code Peter Stewart, all one word, my name, PeterStewart, you will get a discount as well. Check out Music Radio Creative, not just for music, but also for announcements. So having a voice which will introduce your flash briefing to save you doing it every single time as well. Okay, that's about it for this week. Sorry, for today. We're back tomorrow with more. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about more about the presentation, whether you do it yourself or whether you get Alexa to read your flash briefing for you. So all that tomorrow as the Flash Briefing February course continues.
See you then.